My bro shooter, that nigga ain't messy. He clean it up when he doing the dirt. Hit from the back and she wet on my shirt. Hit from the back and she make it tsunamis. Bust down Cartier, staying on time. Man, young and bowling like I'm playing with Bronny.
We about to get toxic as fuck in this video, y'all. Listen, we got a Krillin versus all of Naruto. That includes Jigen. That includes Momoshiki, Ishiki. It includes everybody. All the strongest people in Naruto we're going to include. So you already know, you have my stance already on this. No one from Naruto is fucking with anybody in Dragon Ball Z. Period. Not one. I don't care what genjutsu you got. I do not care what you have. You still not beating them. The strongest person in your entire anime does not compare to us. We want to know who can beat whose ass. That's it. That's all we come here for. I don't care who has a better story, who's a better character. That's irrelevant to me. I don't give a fuck. I just want to have the pleasure of saying that my weakest character in my favorite anime is beating the fuck out of your favorite character in your weaker anime. I mean, because you're weak. But anyway, if you're new, subscribe, smash that like button, and Seth. I've been watching Seth for like 4 years, bro. I've really sat here and watched Seth debunk a lot of niggas. He's probably the most reliable person, then it's Death Battle, to me, in my opinion. Like, it's Seth, then Death Battle. But anyway, let's check this out. There's too many damn... Oh, this intro go hard, though.
Hello, everyone. So today, we're doing a very heavily requested topic, and that topic is actually Krillin versus the entire Narutoverse. Let me bring down how this is mainly debated against more casual debating fans versus fans, and it goes a little something like this. Well, no, Krillin can destroy planets. Naruto can't destroy planets, so he solos Naruto. He's just too powerful. And then for the Naruto fans, it's like, what, Krillin? He's so fodder. He's died like 1,000,000 times. No. Stop. So, I've been a Dragon Ball and Naruto debater for many years, since I was like 12 years old. So, a considerable amount of time. But it's actually the reason I got into power scaling, was because I wanted to know about Dragon Ball versus Naruto. I was always curious, where does Naruto stack up in Dragon Ball, and would Dragon Ball just shit on Naruto? Because I love the series. I love the series equally. So the arguments I always hear nowadays are, of course, like Krillin solos Naruto, or Naruto would easily destroy Krillin, blah blah blah, stuff like that. It's mainly what people want to know, actually, when it comes to the series fighting. Most people don't seem to think that Naruto could like solo Dragon Ball or something.
Of course
like that.
not.
But you need to know.
Of course they can. What the fuck?
About Krillin is, I've done videos on this, is that Krillin is actually extremely powerful despite his meek demeanor.
Listen, the only reason why Krillin looks weak is because everybody around him is super damn strong. Like, it's not fair to him. He's the strongest human on the planet. The strongest human. What is Naruto? Not the strongest human.
He's very intelligent for Dragon Ball standards, although Dragon Ball standards aren't very high in Naruto standards. But in Dragon Ball standards, he's very smart. He fucking was going to kill Nappa with the Destructo Disc, and even though Nappa was his superior, he was able to, you know, get away from Dodoria, cut Frieza's tail off, hold off Imperfect Cell in the filler arcs, stuff like that. But the reason Krillin is so powerful is because Krillin's easily multi-planetary and possibly star level if you wank him a little bit. Now the reason for that is Piccolo in the start of Dragon Ball was actually capable of obliterating the moon to absolute non-existence in 4 seconds flat.
In 4 seconds, you Naruto Taurus, in 4 seconds, he obliterated the moon till there was nothing. That could have caused a lot of damage to the Earth. But he made sure that the moon was non-existent. Y'all just became able to destroy the moon. just.
And this is a casual feat from Piccolo. Casually. Huh. A simple key blast. The moon is gone. A simple...
No special beam cannon, no key really required to destroy this moon. His little ass key blast was able to destroy the moon. Tanari had to use a truth-seeking sword and cut the moon in half. Mad? Like, no!
And the shockwave from him obliterating said moon into non-existence was hit Earth. Like, he could feel the shockwaves of the moon being obliterated from Earth. Now, that is in itself over 300 exatons of force and reaches into the small planetary ranges lowballing. Even if you lowball the velocity of said attack, it's actually could be possibly just normally planetary. Now, this attack is from Piccolo at the start of Dragon Ball. And as we know, Krillin actually surpasses that same Piccolo by over 4 times by the time he trained with Kami, and easily one-shots numerous Cybermen who are all 3 times stronger than that same Piccolo that just obliterated the moon into nothing. Now, some people will always bring up Master Roshi obliterating the moon. However, that's completely different because the guides actually specifically state that's a moon-level attack. There's no shock waves that hit the Earth from the moon blowing up, stuff like that. So it's a little bit more consistent to say that Piccolo's small planetary, and we don't want to highball too much, because in debating, you're trying to be as logical and rational as possible. You want to be as convincing as possible.
That's not Naruto, Tards. They're not. They are the most illogical group of people that you can ever meet. On God, they are. They are the most illogical people on the face of the planet. They don't want to accept that Yamcha could beat Naruto. And Yamcha is booty. But he's still strong enough to whoop some ass. Come on, bro.
So we don't try to like fanboy or anything. We're just
Thank you. Just keep it neutral.
As concrete as we can. This is a small planetary level attack in just the early Saiyan saga. Now, Krillin surpasses this by numerous times. By the way, that attack was easily relative to hit the moon in at least 4 seconds. So if you multiply that by at least 4 times for the Saiyan saga, it'd easily be over 300,000 kilometers per second. And he would, in fact, be the speed of light. And then on Namek, he gets his potential.
There was one comment that says that no Dragon Ball characters move at the speed of light until the Tournament of Power. You fucking Naruto. This is why nobody likes y'all. How is 90% of your community this toxic, bro? Y'all make no sense.
Potential unlocked, which allows him to fight fighters that rival Vegeta, who is tens of times stronger than the Cybermen ever could dream of. On top of that, his potential keeps rising as it's unlocked, and he's capable of rivaling the Ginyu Force by the time he fights second form Frieza, and this is confirmed in some of the V-Jump guides. And then by the time he reaches the Android Saga, he's just absolutely monstrous. And we know characters like Horse Form Frieza were capable of destroying, Planet Vegeta, which had 10 times the mass of Earth, completely obliterating, as someone like Piccolo obliterated the moon, but with a planet 10 times the size of Earth, which would be 10 tons of force, which would be small dwarf star level in terms of attack potency. And then Krillin gets to the point in Dragon Ball Super that after chugging some juice and lifting some weights in his fucking bedroom for a year, he was capable of actually beating Gohan, who was simply testing him. The same Gohan who was able to fight Solar System level Lavender. It's impossible to state how strong Krillin really is to these characters. All we can really say for absolute certain is that he's more than likely more powerful than he was on Namek. So by that logic, he's at least multi-large planetary, maybe just large planet plus, and at least dozens of times the speed of light. And if you want to highball him, you could say he's rivaling Android 18, since he trained with 18, and 18 was going to tag team with him against Goku. So maybe he's rivaling Android 18, who would in fact be Star Plus, because, Frieza is hundreds of times stronger than he was in his first form, and Android 18 is stronger than Namek Frieza. So it's logical that he may be Star level if you highball him. However, the Naruto verse isn't too weak itself. It actually does have somewhat rivaling.
Look how Seth laughs. It says somewhat. Like these peasants are trying to fuck with us. Damn peasants.
Maybe not to highball with Krillin, but to maybe a lower balled verse, and the Naruto verse does somewhat have a relative power. Power of the Naruto verse when fighting Krillin isn't really necessary. That's not how the fight's really going to boil down. But I'll briefly explain why they're somewhat relative a little bit. For example, like the Naruto god tiers in terms of power, I mean, Kaguya created an expansive truth-seeking orb that was so massive that it was going to consume an entire a planet and moon-sized dimension, possibly a star-level dimension if you highball it.
Now, I want you to pay attention to what this man Seth just finished saying, bro. He said that Kaguya made a truth-seeking orb so big that it could swallow moons, planets, and stars dimensions, right? All right, that's cool, right? But that's not like, multi-universal or anything like that. So when Naruto talks like, Kaguya created a fucking pocket universe that pockets multiple universes. That's not what it says in the guide, nigga.
And then we know that Madara actually had techniques like the stage art Light Fang, which would confirm the speed of light, and that Might Guy was able to run so fast it was warping space, which is on the verge of running at the speed of light, since it would increase his speed increased his mass to such a great degree that it was warping space, which would in fact be like black hole-esque kind of shit. So they do have like the planetary light speed-esque Saiyan Saga vibe, right? No one's trying to argue that Naruto is stronger than Krillin per se. Maybe some people, but Naruto versus Krillin in terms of power, yeah, Krillin's stronger than Naruto. Okay, I'll say that right now. That yes, he is stronger, unless you highball Kaguya to star level plus, which he might be. However, like I said, Krillin can solo the Naruto verse.
As he just finished this video's over. Krillin one-shots the entire Naruto verse. That's it.
But he doesn't solo the Naruto verse. Now, the reason for that is that the Naruto verse is very hacksy. They're very technique and strategy based. Like, for example, Might Guy got the 8 gates. He was so powerful that the mere shock waves from his punches were going to kill Madara, and Madara would have killed Guy 8 times over in their fight if it wasn't for numerous other Kage level fighters teleporting away Madara's attacks and defenses so that Might Guy could just beat the fuck out of him. That's a perfect example of strategy and hacks overdoing power in Naruto. However, that's not what would work on Krillin.
Nah. He got the after image. He got the solar flare. You know, that split second, he could just hit you with that scattered Kamehameha, and it's a wrap after that.
But for Krillin, he's from Dragon Ball. And Dragon Ball characters rely on concentration, ki, and courage to amplify their defenses and power. So, for example, when Master Super Saiyan Goku was taking a fucking nap and there was a butterfly on his nose and everything was sweet and peaceful and Krillin threw a rock at his face, it was the most agonizing experience in Goku's life, right? Or when God Goku thought Frieza was done for and he suppressed himself back down to normal Frieza soldier fodder like Sorbet could pierce God Goku with just a ray gun. Stuff like that. Or he could pierce base Goku, who is still massively more powerful than anything in Z with just the ray guns. Krillin would fall under the same consequences. If Krillin was ever knocked unconscious or asleep or off guard, similar effects would apply. Another thing about Krillin is that Krillin, he goes for the KO against opponents, even against the Frieza Force, who he should have PTSD. Actually, he did have PTSD in Revival of Frieza against the Frieza Force. Even after getting that PTSD experience of them killing him, or Frieza killing him, he was still generous enough to only knock them out and not actually try killing them. That's how kind to even people, to his enemies he was. He wouldn't kill them. Now, knocking opponents out is great and all. Maybe that would work. That would work on 99.9% of Shinobi. Although for the god tiers like Kaguya, Momoshiki, the Sage of the Six Paths, Naruto, maybe not Sasuke, and Madara, is that knocking someone out with just like a little chop will not knock out a god tier Naruto. In fact, a lot of characters wouldn't be knocked out by that due to their massive regenerative abilities. Or the 9 Tails could wake up Naruto, he'd be like, yo, are you okay? The 10 Tails regeneration for Madara and Kaguya is just too insane. Madara literally was kicked so hard half his body blew off. You think having a little chop on his neck's gonna knock him out for the rest of the day? You're wrong. Period. Maybe for someone like Sasuke, though, who doesn't really have any regen or something, maybe then I could see it. But then there's other characters that could wake Sasuke up or heal him, which is another problem, Krillin faces, is collective strategy, planning. His morals are simply not correct for this type of battle. Like, for example, if Krillin was bloodlusted, he was completely irritated, like completely feral. And he charged up a Kamehameha so powerful that it looked like the final flash and just obliterated like the entire battlefield of Shinobi. Sure, maybe he would win. However, that's not how Krillin fights, and that's never how we've seen him fight. So only a bloodlusted, action replay-coded Krillin would win this battle. In terms of how this would actually go, Krillin would probably sweat a little bit, be meek and try to greet his adversaries, in which they will try to instantly hacks kill him right off the bat. Maybe he can dodge some, maybe he can't dodge some, but there's a problem, is that there's massive ocular genjutsu abilities for most of the high tiers in Naruto, like the Sage of the Six Paths, Itachi, or anybody with their ocular genjutsu could actually manipulate Krillin unconscious. So the reason ocular genjutsu, I know genjutsu usually only works on people with chakra. However, Sharingan plus genjutsu does not require the flow of chakra to work. This is shown when Sasuke manipulated Manda, who is a sage creature who doesn't actually have chakra, or manipulating the Bijou, who don't actually have like a flow of internal chakra. They're just chakra incarnate. Stuff like that. It's actually more like injecting chakra into your opponent subconsciously and then being manipulated to your will. There's also things like Izanami and Izanami.
So what about, like, that has to do with your mental though, right? So I would assume that because they go through like a lot of image and mental training, especially Krillin and Goku, that's what they're like really good at. They're good at that. So can't they like break that like it's nothing? Because, okay, for example, Babidi, right? He controlled Vegeta, a much more powerful Vegeta, right? Majin Vegeta, right? He controlled him with magic. So, I don't know, but he wanted to be controlled. So it's like he gave in. But I don't know, can Genjutsu actually work? Like, would it really work on Dragon Ball characters? Because a lot of them went through mental training, and I feel like they could just break out of it like it's nothing. Because, that's just a personal opinion of mine.
Izanami being able to completely manipulate the physics of you and your opponent into putting your opponent into a loop until they concede the battle, or the infinite Tsukuyomi, which would lock Krillin unconscious and anybody could kill him while he's unconscious, or even during the Izanami. There's also things like Sasuke could teleport Krillin around the battlefield at will. Sasuke could teleport Krillin to them, close range, and Madara's Limbo clone could literally kill Krillin, because Krillin cannot see, sense, or hear a Limbo clone, and he would be caught off guard and one-shotted. There's also the argument that any Renegon user can steal the opponent's soul. So, like Madara, if Sasuke teleported Krillin to Madara, Madara holds his hand out and Sasuke teleported Krillin to Madara. Madara could literally rip out Krillin's soul. Or you could have a Totsuka Blade Genjutsu combo where Itachi Totsuka Blades Krillin with the formless Totsuka Blade and seals him into a Genjutsu. Or you could have Kaguya or DMS Kakashi battlefield removal him. Krillin just does not have the right mindset to deal with this. Like I said, if Krillin went balls deep and was nuclear bombing everybody, sure, great. Plug your controller into Krillin's ass and tell him how to fight. Then maybe he wins. But for the most part, Krillin doesn't know a single thing about these guys. He doesn't know how they work. He doesn't know most of them regen or heal each other. He doesn't know they can manipulate space and steal people's souls and shit. It's just so far-fetched to say Krillin wins. So like I said before, I'm going to say it one more time. Krillin can solo Naruto, but he doesn't solo Naruto.
Okay, so I get it. Okay,
anyways,
that makes
guys,
sense.
I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you learned something. And until next time.
Hey, that was actually really educational. I really like that. So Krillin could basically one-shot the entire Naruto universe, but it's more likely that he's not going to, because because he's too kind of a fighter. Like Seth said, if he went balls deep, angry in his duffel, in his bag, in his Louis Vuitton duffel bag, then yeah, he's obliterating them niggas. He's not giving them a second chance. Destructo this everybody. Everybody's getting hit with that. But you know, you put the Z fighters against everybody against Konoha or the Naruto verse, yeah, of course we're taking a dub. That's an easy W. We just need Goku and Vegeta. But we had everybody? Yeah, it's different. We built different. We built differently. Anyways, man, your boy Soup. And this was a fire video by Seth. I wanted to get a little bit toxic, you know, just to piss off the Naruto tards and whatnot, but yo.